Data is the new power in today's information-rich world. Contradictory to opinion, information is replicable and context-independent. Having access to a good data can be utilized to manipulate our buying behavior or for better disease diagnosis. As we leap into the future of data and its implications to our society, essentially the difference between having access to good insights is going to result into functioning democracies, prioritized interventions, and better implementation towards circular economy. Though the technology to analyze large-scale data is improving day by day, that's not the case with the tools collecting that data. There isn't a lot of innovation going on that how do we collect better data. And especially when it comes to developing economies, there are various contradictions to be solved before we jump into applying big data to societal challenges in developing world. Developing economies are facing challenges of cost, method, and technology to ensure a data-driven framework. In this particular session, we are going to utilize 3 different experiments to discuss the framework of innovation in design, business, and storytelling regarding SDG data collection. We will also talk about how they can contribute in large-scale behavioral change through contextualized probe and how this is going to affect our economy.
Water is depleting day by day in today's world, and we are witnessing unprecedented water crisis across the globe. Rivers aren't just a holy symbol, but a major shared resource in developing economies. However, pollution across the flow contributes heavily in wasting this precious commodity. A report from the United Nations Environment Programme depicts that millions of people living around 1/3 of rivers in Africa, Asia, and Latin America are at an enormous health risk by utilizing the polluted water. It's time that we depart from linear consumption model of water and take considerable measures to ensure its inclusion in the circular economy. However, a major obstacle in achieving such goals is a lack of high-resolution geospatial river health data. Collecting such data is a negotiation between the cost of operation and quality of collected samples. We recognized that new innovations are needed to solve these constraints for a circular water economy. A few of us from Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur, India, and Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution, USA, are attempting to solve these challenges with support from IUSSTF, Intel, and DSD. We are creating an aquatic autonomous observatory for in situ river health monitoring, NSV we call it. By establishing a combination of stationary and mobile platform, these technological innovations are facilitating cost-effective monitoring with a greater resolution. We are aiming at a self-sustainable parametric monitoring framework by integrating energy harvesting capabilities into these systems. As we solve the challenges in mobility of such platforms, these innovations in monitoring methods will be immensely helpful in localizing the source, nature, and extent of contamination. Holding polluting entities accountable is an essential step to lead the way forward in achieving circular water economy.
These are two glasses of water. One of them contains selenium, the other one doesn't. One of them gives cancer in 4 years, the other one doesn't. The problem is that nobody knows which one it is. Not the people drinking it, not the people providing it. In India, 8% of rural population, just 8% of Indian rural population have access to safe drinking water, while 77% of them own a mobile phone. So it's not like they don't have the purchasing power to buy a passive, cheap water filter, but they don't see value in investing in safe water infrastructure. This cumulative lack of data, insights and awareness can cost developing economies as high as 5% of their GDP. From the 2018 cohort of Young Sustainable Impact, we three tried to explore this problem, and when we went deeper into field research, we realized that that is a multifaceted problem. After a lot of design research, we created a solution which we call mass metrics. So we inspired this solution from the most successful health campaign in India, which is called Pulse Polio Mission, where they went from door to door. And we tried to use these means of data collection and information transfer to be engaging. That's why we inspired them from public engagement tools. So data card goes from community to community. It collects high quality geospatial data, which is sent back to a server, which can be accessed by government officials, UNSDG agencies, local NGOs and impact evaluator. The card utilizes engaging means for data collection. Data can range from parameters like road conditions, BMI to water quality conditions and connectivity in that particular area. That consumers pour their water in the specified place on the card. If their water is contaminated, it gives them a personalized nudge relating to monetary parameters. At the same time, it collects that data and sends back to the server with geostamping, which is then accessed by different bodies to make data-driven decisions. This particular approach has a research-backed 60% chances of behavioral change. So this at national level can conclude to 22 additional workdays per person per year. It can save up to 5.48 billion in medical bills in India. We are running a 9-month pilot with 110,000 people, among whom only 15% have access to safe drinking water. Mass metrics is our endeavor to dilute information inequality.
A couple of months back, 27 children died in bus accident in India. If you had a chance to save them, wouldn't you? What if I tell you that 60 of these buses crashes every day in India and 500 worldwide? All of these children can be saved with a simple solution, hand wash. But the problem is not so easy to solve. 57% of the Indian population never received any formal hand washing training, and even those who received it demonstrated poor compliance. A functioning hand washing culture in India could yield returns of 5.64 billion USD or a 92-fold returns on investment. To explore contemporary hand washing challenges, we visited many schools, hospitals and public spaces. We also interviewed doctors, nurses, midwives, mothers, teachers, development professionals and children from all over India. Our major findings are that people didn't know what is wrong with their hand washing procedure, and concerned departments weren't aware if hand washing is being practiced. Another unconventional insight was that corrupted contractors were utilizing money meant for purchasing soap, and it wasn't possible for administrators to remotely validate the availability. We also witnessed the use of foreign languages and symbols in campaigns which didn't help the objective. We found out that there is a major void of efficient training and monitoring mechanisms for hand washing practices at schools, home, healthcare centers, and public spaces. To overcome these challenges, we have created Washmetrics. Washmetrics monitors hand washing behavior and delivers a quick real-time nudge for a better hand washing behavior. The system is attached to the hand washing station. When user washes their hands at the station, an optical characterization sensor records time duration and pattern of soapy water and normal water. The onboard processor maps it with an ideal washing procedure and recognizes the difference, which is converted to the likeliness of health and monetary implications. Based on the projected implications, like the right hand washing procedure will save you X amount of money in healthcare cost, X number of school days, a behavior nudge is delivered to the user in the local language and dialect. It followed by a short explanation of right hand washing procedure. Monitored data is transmitted to a server for access to policymakers, government officials, not-for-profits, etc. for relevant interventions and cross-checks. However, no nudge is delivered if the user washes their hand in the right manner, though data is still collected and transmitted. 3 variants of Washmetrics target 3 different consumers. Washmetrics Pub is specifically tailored for use cases in public spaces, while Washmetrics Plus provides the ability to monitor individual stakeholders in healthcare centers. Washmetrics Kids utilizes popular cartoon character and voice for interesting interaction with kids in school. After a detailed iteration and sensor prototyping, we made a functional low-fidelity prototype and tested it with stakeholders. Initial testing demonstrated a quick technique improvement and very positive user engagement. From a baseline compliance of 8% in schools and 23% in hospital, we saw a huge increase within a week of the pilot. Washmetrics created a lot of value for healthcare centers, schools, and public healthcare system. We are expecting the cost of mass metrics model to be in between 25 to 39 USD. USP of this approach lies in targeting nudging and monitoring through one single tool with more rigorous and effective framework. Washmetrics is solving an important technological contradiction and demonstrates a way to achieve data-driven metrics for healthier cities.
These 3 experiments demonstrate that innovations regarding SDG data collection requires much more than algorithmic iterations. The future of data for circular economy is going to be walking on the boundary of removing information disparity and aiming at cost-effective solutions for developing economies.